You42 podcast.
Closest thing I have to a friend is my old broken down car. But it's the best friend I've had, honestly.
Good old Rhonda.
Good old Rhonda.
Rhonda the Honda.
Rhonda the Honda.
That's right.
That's good. It rhymes. That's why
Oh,
it's
I know.
funny. That's why it's funny, because it rhymes.
Good old Rhonda the Honda.
Rhonda. I knew a Rhonda in college.
Big
She
bump.
used to give big piggyback rides to
That's
people.
what you call a hoss.
$5 per piggyback ride for
Wow,
Rhonda.
did she take you to like...
She took around the
campus?
block.
Oh,
Around the block.
okay.
Yeah.
That was before Segways, huh?
It was before anything, really, yeah.
It
Before Hondas, honestly.
just hop on a Rhonda. Just hop on a Rhonda and get your class.
I rode my Rhonda down to the grocery
Oh
store.
man, I'm late
us
for
some ice
class.
cream.
Let me hop on my Rhonda. Here's $5. Beep,
Outside
beep, beep.
every building, there's
Rhonda parking spots?
Yeah, Rhonda parking. Yeah.
It's just her silhouette.
That's right.
Cut out. Shout out to Rhonda.
Yeah, shout out to Rhonda.
Shout out wherever you are, Rhonda.
You gave the best piggyback rides
ever.
ever.
All right, listen. This is starting to creep on. I've got work I got to do.
One more thing. I have a question for you. Do you think that
I was gonna, I hope you were gonna say, "Do you think?" one more time.
cultural
I do think in threes. Do you think? Do you think?
Do you think cultural
You
flash
said it. You said it the third time. There we go. Okay, you go ahead. Can't say it a fourth time
Playhouse?
now,
Yeah.
because then you have to start over.
Well, that's Candyman. Let's not talk about Candyman.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's creepy.
Okay, don't say it again though.
I'm not gonna say it
All
again.
right, you almost did though.
Almost did. You're right. Yeah, I almost did. No, do you think cultural?
You did say it again. Now you
I didn't
broke,
say Candyman
now
again.
You broke it.
You gotta say it into a mirror. That's the rule.
No,
You do.
I only do things.
All
in
right,
threes.
cultural
Now I can't
flashbacks.
answer
I'm not
your
gonna say it
question.
again. Cultural flashbacks, like for instance, in the late, mid to late '90s, there was a cultural flashback to. I don't know if this could be regional though, like the hippie sort of style came back into
the
style.
bottoms and
Yeah, during the late '90s and
early '90s and
not
mid-90s.
early '90s.
It was listen.
You know what would be
'70s was not around in the late '90s. That was in early '90s. From the '90s to
The
about
'70s never came back.
Yeah, they did.
This is what I'm asking. Is it cyclical? The 60s came back, at least in the mid-South, where I don't think this is deep South, but in the mid-Atlantic area.
You had a lot of guys or gals wearing bell bottoms.
Yeah, bell
flared
bottoms.
jeans,
Yeah, burning incense and
and
tapestries on their
corduroys.
walls. Yeah, corduroys.
Still, though, the '60s revival, the
60s revival in
that
the 90s.
was
that happened.
early '90s thing. And
Was that
then
only on the East Coast though?
No, that was.
How do you know? He wouldn't know.
Because I am known for my pop culture know-how. My dad was a cable guy for 32 years. I know everything.
Okay. You know what would be interesting is a map of cultural tendencies and resurgences.
I was going to say a map to Blackbeard's treasure would be a whole lot better.
That'd be way cooler, yeah, but we
Way
don't have
cooler.
that. So what we could have is a map. I'm just imagining this, and over time, sort of like a Google map. You know how you can go on Google Earth and you can scrub through time and it shows you what it looked like in the past. Somebody could map out different cultural resurgences in media, for instance. How the 60s came back. The 60s came back into popularity in the 90s, and I don't know if there's been a resurgence since then. I don't really keep my. I got busy in my life.
Now, I'd say even it's still kind of popular now, but a couple years ago, for sure, the 80s were really
The
popular.
80s did come
are
back,
like,
you're right, yeah.
I think the 80s are still very popular, but as far as I'm concerned, because I'm an 80s baby, the 80s will always be cool.
Yeah, I think if you have that connection, that
The 80s is the greatest decade of all time. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. As far as technology goes, everything that we have today was pretty much brought about.
I think
in the
1980.
80s.
I think 1985 was by far the humans' best year.
85, 86.
Those were the best years of production creatively for human beings.
I would say from
in
85 to
media.
89, that was the pinnacle of where we were going to send everything. And
Yeah, you got
since then, I mean, yeah, we've had the iPhone and we've gotten back into virtual reality, but hell, virtual
That's
reality
just technology,
was-
though. That's not
Yeah,
necessarily
I mean,
media,
and
media creativity.
I just feel like everything, the computer really kind of took off then. Video games took off then. Movies
The movies
really
were
exploded
really good.
then. You had, what we call the modern day blockbuster really didn't show up until, the late 80s,
Well, I mean,
mid 80s.
you could argue that the late 70s.
Yeah, like Star Wars really
Star
was
Wars.
popular. But again, that's really kind of pushing really towards like, because Star Wars was 78.
77.
77?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an anomaly. But I guess during the 80s is when you really just started having them
No, because then you
rapid fire.
Yeah.
Like, that's when they were just pumping out, like, big-time movies. A lot of movies that, either are seeing resurgence today or being remade today.
In media, you see a resurgence of the 80s style. And
fashion.
in Stranger Things, for instance,
Yep,
it leans heavily on the
absolutely.
80s. Dead by Midnight, a U42 production,
Yes,
has a
we
lot of
definitely rely heavily
roots
on
in the 80s.
the 80s. But again, that's not, that's really nothing, I guess, not too new. But because as far as things going, what is cylindrical? Not cylindrical.
Cyclical.
Cyclical.
Cylinder-cyclical.
Silly cyclical.
It's Celine Dion.
Silly
it's-
Celine Dion delical.
It's the Celine Dion phenomenon.
It's a Celine Dion delical phenomenon.
Yeah, it's cyclical in that way.
But I feel like the later you go back in time, the less you see of the resurgence of it again. Like with the 50s and the 40s, you still see. Oh, that's gross. All right, I'm done. I don't want to be around you anymore.
I think I'm allergic to you.
I'm getting done with this.
I'm allergic to your stupidity.
I like
so
to
if
go
you get
and do
smarter,
work
let's use
now,
this.
please. Yeah, I got to go. All right, this is a wrap. You're
I
sickening.
got snot all over
Yeah,
myself.
disgusting. Time
Man.
out. All right.
That was fun. That was
I
good
feel
stuff.
bad for you.
So,
All right,
yes.
we done?
I don't know if we're done or not.
Yeah, we are done. Because it's past my bedtime.
Let's talk about what we're going to do this weekend. What are you going to do this weekend?
I am going to harvest a lot of truffles and make
Truffles?
some butter. Yep.
You finally trained your dog to find truffles in the forest?
Yes.
That's
I use
going
that-
to be really
I
profitable
use
for you.
that little that schnoz of his. Go digging. Ground's been real hard though, so we've had to get on out there later on in the day when the ground softens up,
To dig the truffles?
to dig up the truffles, because sometimes the dog don't really catch the scent like I want him to.
You want
Then
him to catch
I
some.
want him to catch the scent.
That's a profitable business.
Oh, I've
model
been
you
doing
got
it
there.
for 44 years now. It's a very lucrative process, but you got to know what you're looking for when you get the right hound, because some hounds are stupid. They have you walking around in circles, looking like a big dummy. And then when you get back to the same spot, you say to yourself, well, what in the holy hell are we doing back over here? Ain't no truffles around here. And that's
Yeah,
when
I
you
feel
look at
like
him in
you're
the eye.
trailed off enough. We could just fade.
That's when you look him in the eye, you say, you know what, I'm going to trade your ass in for a real proper dog. That's going to find me all the truffles.
This is the moment when you shut up.
And that's when you say to him, either give me the truffles or I'm going to kill you. I'm going to eat you first. but you
This
gonna
is the
die.
moment
I
where
love
you shut
was
up.
a good dog, but you ain't finding my truffles. So now I got to kill you.
This is the
'cause
moment
you got to serve me a purpose. You understand what
where
I'm trying to tell you?
you
Sometimes you listen,
shut up.
sometimes you don't.
This is the
And when you
moment
don't, they don't find my
where
truffles.
you shut up.
And I got to tell them,
This is the moment
you either find
when
my
you
truffles
shut up.
This has been the U42 podcast.